It is a square of red cotton, cheap, the kind of thing you could buy in a pack of 3, the kind of thing a boy folds up and shoves in his back pocket and forgets about. On the morning this story turns on, it cost about $1, and for almost a year afterward, it was the only name that a group of survivors had for the man who saved their lives. They didn't know his face. They couldn't have described it if they tried. All they knew, all they could tell anyone, was that when everything was smoke and noise and certain death, a young man appeared, calm, tying a red bandana over his nose and mouth, and told them where to go. This is the story of who that man was and of the small red square of cloth that would eventually give him his name back. Start with the bandana itself, because it comes first. There was a boy growing up in Nyack, New York, named Welles Crowther. His father carried a handkerchief in his pocket, the way men of that generation did, and when Welles was young, his father gave him one of his own, a red bandana, to keep in his back pocket, and the boy simply never stopped carrying it. It went everywhere with him, through childhood, through playing lacrosse at Boston College, through becoming, alongside his father, a volunteer firefighter in his hometown, something he did in his spare time for no money, because he wanted to. And then it went with him into a very different life. A suit, a tie, and a job as a young equities trader at a firm called Sandler O'Neill on the 104th floor of the South Tower of the World Trade Center. Even there in the suit, the red bandana was in his pocket. He was 24 years old. Then came the morning of September 11th, 2001. At 9:03 in the morning, a hijacked airliner struck the South Tower, tearing into it between roughly the 77th and 85th floors. That band of impact did something merciless. It cut off almost everyone above it from the stairways below. Welles Crowther worked well above that line, but somehow, and the full path he took, we will never entirely know, he got himself down to the 78th floor sky lobby. It was a scene beyond description. The sky lobby had been packed with people waiting for elevators when the plane hit. Now it was smoke and rubble and the badly injured and people frozen in place. Because when you cannot see and you do not know that any way out still exists, you stop moving. You wait to die. And into that, a young man walked with a red bandana over his face. He was not panicking. That is the thing every survivor remembered. He was calm, and he was giving orders. Clear, simple, the voice of someone who had trained for chaos. He had found the one stairway that was still passable, and he knew the way down. He pointed people toward it. He told them to go, and a woman who was too injured to walk, he picked her up and he carried her down flight after flight until she was low enough to make it the rest of the way. And then he set her down, and he turned around, and he climbed back up, into the smoke and the fire in a tower that could come down at any second. If a 24-year-old choosing deliberately to climb back up into, that is the kind of story you think more people should carry with them, take a second and hit that like button. It keeps stories like his from disappearing. And subscribe, because how the world finally learned his name almost a year later comes down to that one small detail nobody could forget. Stay with me, because he didn't do it once. By the accounts of the people who were there, Welles Crowther made the trip more than once, going down with survivors and then going back up for more. He is believed to have led around a dozen people, and by some counts as many as 18, out of a place almost no one above the impact line escaped. He put out fires. He gave first aid. He carried people. A traitor in a burning skyscraper, doing the job of a firefighter, because quietly for years, that is also what he had been. He did not get out. When the South Tower collapsed, Welles Crowther was still inside it, still working. He was 24. Months later, when his remains were recovered from the ruins, he was not found alone. He was found in the company of firefighters, near what had been a command post, with rescue equipment around him. He had died on the side of the people running toward the danger, exactly where the boy with the bandana in his back pocket had always somehow been headed. And now, the cloth comes back. For nearly a year, the people he saved carried a story they couldn't finish. They owed their lives to a man, and they did not know his name, only that red bandana over his face. Then, in 2002, Wells's mother, Allison, read a newspaper account, survivors of the South Tower, describing a calm young man who had led them down, his features hidden behind a red bandana. She had watched that bandana go into his pocket for 20 years. She knew instantly who they were describing. She reached out to the survivors, and they confirmed it. The anonymous man in the red bandana had a name, and it was her son. The people he saved finally got to know whose face was behind the cloth. Welles Crowther was later made an honorary firefighter of the New York City Fire Department, a rare thing for a civilian. And his old college and his hometown have kept his memory alive ever since, often with a sea of red bandanas. But the object at the center of it was never anything special. It was $1 of red cotton, a habit passed from a father to a son. It only became extraordinary because of what the young man carrying it chose to do. 3 times, up a staircase, everyone else was running down. He could have made it out. The people who watched him work are certain of it. He knew the way. He'd walked it more than once. He simply kept deciding, each time he reached the bottom, that he wasn't finished, and turning back toward the smoke, with a red bandana over his face, to go up and get one more. If you want more stories like this one, real, forgotten, hidden in the details the official version leaves out, watch the video already coming up on your screen right now. Here on It Sounds Like Fiction, but it's history, there's always one more secret waiting.